today. My name is Luis, and I'm happy to welcome you to another session of Educational Bridge Project. Today we have two special guests, Ingrid and Melissa, representatives from Cordon Bleu Paris, one of the most renowned culinary schools in the world. They will walk us through the programs available for international students, the admission process, and the opportunities that studying at such a university can open in the global culinary and hospitality industry. Hello, Ingrid. Hello, Melissa. How are you doing?
Hi, thank you very much for inviting us today to this online session. We're really happy to be with you.
Great.
Hello, yes, hello, and thank you so much for inviting us, and hello to all of our maybe future students that are seeing us.
Great. So everyone who watching, you are very welcome to send us your questions in the chat during the session, and we'll try to cover as many of them as possible. I think that's it for the beginning. Ingrid, Melissa, again, thank you so much for joining us today, and I'll give my word to you, please.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Aziz. So, good afternoon, everyone. We're really happy to be here with you, sharing a little bit more about Cordon Bleu Paris. My name is Melissa, and I'm with Ingrid, my colleague as well. We are in charge of helping students through the application. So we are the person that you will be in touch with if you decide to come to Paris. And if you have any questions, that's our role, to help you and to guide you to find the right program for you, because you will see we have pretty different programs and you can customize it depending on your project. So you will see that in a little bit. We will start with a presentation of the school, of our institute in Paris. I would like to start with a short video of our campus, so you can see a little bit how it looks like, and then we will start with the description and presentation of all our programs. Okay, so I think we had maybe an issue with the sound, but what I wanted you to see is a little bit of our campus and the location. So if you notice, we are just like 15 minutes walking distance from the Eiffel Tower, and we're just in front of the river. So it is a great location for students wanting to come to Paris and experience Paris fully. And right now I'll be sharing the screen with the presentation. Perfect. So to start with, Cordon Bleu. So we are an international network. Of course, Ingrid and we are in charge of promoting our campus in Paris, and we are based in Paris. We are right now on the campus. However, we have 35 institutes around the world, and 35 institutes in 20 countries. Thus, the largest international network of culinary arts institutes. So it will be the biggest one in the world, and we are really proud also to say that last year we celebrated 130 years of history. already. You can see in the map some of our locations. So of course, the first campus was in Paris, but then we extended a little bit everywhere. So we are also here in Europe, some other locations, Asia, Latin America. But of course, what you will be seeing today corresponds to our campus in Paris. And we are, as we are pretty international, we receive around 130 nationalities in our campuses. So you will almost see all over, I mean, students coming from all over the world in our campuses. So as I was saying, what is the Cordon Bleu? So as I mentioned, 130 years. This year is going to be 131 years of experience. We have been awarded as the best culinary training institution in recent years. And of course, we have our flagship campus here in Paris, as you have seen on our video. And we also have another campus here in Paris, but this one is only specifically for workshops. So for one-day workshop or a couple of days or hours workshop, mostly for passionates, not for those looking to take a career on the culinary arts, but mostly for as an activity. So about our chef, of course, chefs are really important in our institution. So we have more than 130 chefs around the world. Their role is to, of course, transmit and share their passion and their knowledge with our students. They're experienced chefs that have been working in different restaurants, hotels, palaces, Michelin star restaurants in different parts of the world, not only in France. So they also have this international view. However, of course, with us, you will be learning French techniques, of course. And talking about our campus in Paris, so per year, we receive around 1,000 students. We have different intakes. So during the whole year, around 1,000 students. We receive around, let's say 100 nationalities, or a little bit more, around 90 nationalities here on our campus. So the student body is pretty diverse, with students not only from different nationalities, but also from different backgrounds. So we have young students that have already just finished high school, or we have students that are changing careers, that are, for example, in their late 30s or 40s. So it's quite diverse in terms of origins and backgrounds as well. And of course, this make the experience richer for our students as well. So now we're gonna deep into the programs. We have two different types of programs. So we have the culinary arts programs, that are those hands-on programs for you to become an expert in gastronomy, an expert in food, to become a chef, basically. So we have three different profiles here. So we have those students that are only passionate, or for example, you just finished high school and you maybe like pastry or cuisine, but you're not sure yet. You can come take a short course and see if this is what you would like to pursue. Or if you're taking a gap year, you know that you're already studying something different, but this is something that you are passionate about, you can also come and take a short course around 3 months or 6 weeks. Or also, if you're a college student, you're doing your bachelor's degree, during the summer, you can also come and take this short course. So we have those different type of profiles. Then we have those ones that want to work as a chef, so the professional mastery. And then, of course, there's specific programs for them, but for those that have really clear project of becoming a chef, of working in restaurants and maybe eventually opening their own, or just working in those prestigious restaurants that we have partnerships with. Or we also have those entrepreneurs that also want to become chef, but they want to open their own business. So we also offer programs for those profiles. So as you can see, there's a program for every profile, every person interested in culinary arts. So what are our main diplomas? So for culinary arts, we have three main divisions. We have cuisine, that is everything that is savory. Then we have the pastry diploma. So we have all the sweets, cakes, tarts. And then we have the boulangerie program, which is exclusively bread. And of course, viennoiserie, like the croissant, pain au chocolat. So you have those three divisions. Someone can specialize only in one of them, or they can specialize in the three of them, or just two of them, depending on your project, on what you would like to do. So as I was saying, we have those three profiles: the passionates, so short courses, they can come, they're curious, or they're doing other studies and they come for a little bit. Then there's aspiring professionals, so those that want to become chef, and the future entrepreneurs that want to become chef but also have their own business. So for those passion-driven learners, we have a certificate that can be done in 3 months or a month and a half. Okay, so this is ideal, as I was saying, for gap year students, for career exploration. So, okay, I'm not sure yet, so I'm going to come 3 months or 1 month and a half to see if this is something I like, or to have a first experience in professional gastronomy. So what would be the outcome with this short program? So professional culinary foundations. So you will have it's a rigorous program. So it's a professional level, professional kitchens, chef that will be pretty rigorous. So you will learn those foundations of professional culinary. Then you have a certificate for the first level. You have the certificate. And if you would like to come back, then you can come back and finish your diploma. I'll explain that later, but just for you to have an idea. So for those that want to become a chef, so that are a good part of our students, we have the programs, as I mentioned: cuisine, pastry, and boulangerie. So you can either combine them all together, or you can either just take one. So those programs take 9 months. So it's pretty condensed, pretty intense program in which you will learn all the French techniques, and by the end you will be able to master all the techniques. And after that, it's practice, practice, practice. You will be able to find a job in a prestigious restaurant because you have a diploma from the Cordon Bleu that is backing you up. And whether it is in France or abroad, depending on your project. So it's 9 months. And as I was saying, we have our flagship program, which is the Grand Diplôme. So you can take, this is like our most prestigious and highest level from what it comes to culinary arts. Grand Diplôme that is combining cuisine and pastry together. So you will be mastering both of these arts, cuisine and pastry. And then you also have the boulangerie diploma that you can do alone. It's just a 3 months program, only focusing on bread. We know that French are specialists with bread, baguette, croissant. So this is especially for bread. And then we have the pastry. So for example, we have a couple of students that say, okay, I want to learn pastry, but I want to open my own business. So I also want to learn about bread. So they do pastry and bread. This is also really popular. So usually students take all the cuisine, or take both pastry and cuisine, or take pastry and boulangerie. So it depends. Now, for those aspiring professionals, we have 2 options. They can either just take the 9 months and they become experts, or they can take the 9 months and they can add an internship. Okay, so this is the internship pathway, and this is where it becomes really interesting because you have the option. I mean, no, not the option, but if you decide to take the internship pathway, you will have 3 months of practical application here at the institute. So you will be working alongside with our chef. We also have a cafeteria where we sell snacks, the dish of the day. So you will be also involved in the preparation of all of these dishes during 3 months. And then after you finish your program, you have 4 to 6 months of internship outside of the institute, meaning in a restaurant, in a hotel, in a palace. Of course, we have a huge network, not only in France, but abroad as well. So you can refine those skills, and why not maybe after that find a job and continue with this. So this program is mostly for those future chefs. So I want to become a chef, or they want to have a career in hospitality. So this is like really professional training. You have, of course, an international recognition with a diploma from Le Cordon Bleu, and you are career ready to start working. And then, of course, we also have some specialized programs. So this comes to an advanced level once you have finish any of the programs, you can also specialize yourself. For example, okay, I did pastry, but I want to learn how to do healthier pastries. So we have this pastry diploma in pastry and wellness, and we have another one for bread. So everything that is natural ferments, so it's more nutritional. So after taking the boulangerie, you can come and do this. So that's also interesting, but this is like advanced level specialized diplomas. And then we have other specialized diplomas, for example, nutrition. If you're interested in nutrition, in food trends, how it can impact, because we're seeing a trend of people wanting to eat healthier, to have more conscious of what they are eating. So if you already have a restaurant, or if you have a project of opening a restaurant, this is great because you can learn a little bit more about nutrition and making more balanced meals. And then in adapting to the market as well. And then you have everything that is plant-based, of course, because as I'm saying, the word is demanding this as well. So you have either cuisine or pastry for plant-based. Whether you have finished or not the program, you can join this one as well. And for those entrepreneurs, remember that I mentioned that we have 3 profiles. So the entrepreneurs, they can take our programs, and we have another program that it's called culinary management, that is 3 months additional, where this is amazing because if you have a project, let's say I want to open my own pastry back in my home country, French pastry, or maybe I want to mix it with my pastry from my country. So you do your pastry program, and then you do this diploma, culinary management, for 3 months, where you will learn everything to build a business. So by the end of this program, you will have to present the project with the recipes, the menu, and the business plan. So you're ready to go back, open it there, open it here. So this is for those looking to have a restaurant, for example. Who is this for? So future restaurant owners, food brand creators, hospitality entrepreneurs, bakery or pastry shop founders. So this is, you have the technique of the cooking, so you have the skills on that side, you have the business side, and then that can help you with the project. This is another program that we offer, also for experts, but not only for that. So it's a wine and management program, 10 months. So it's everything related, not only wine, of course, it's wine and beverage. So this program has 2 components that are important. So the technical knowledge about the wine and the beverage, and also the management side. So these students can either become sommelier. So sommelier means expert in wine and beverage. So you can work in service in a restaurant. You can have your own, maybe a wine cellar, or you can work in a big shop, or also you can maybe work with import and export. So there's many possibilities. This is a 10-month program. And something that I didn't mention about our programs is that if you don't speak French, it's not a problem. All our programs the chef will be speaking in French, but there's a translation that is doing simultaneously. So we have a translator, a person that will be there doing the translation for all culinary arts programs. But for example, wine is one of our programs that is 100% in English. You will see that we have other programs in English. And this is very interesting, 10 months for discovering everything that is wine. And for all that is Ingrid will speak more in detail with this, but just wanted to give you an idea of the requirements for all of our culinary arts programs. Minimum age of 18 years old once you start the program. So if you're 17 and a half, you can apply, but you need to be 18 when the program will be starting. Okay, you need to have a high school diploma or an equivalent, and you need to have proof of your English level B2 or A2 level in French. Okay, so that's the most important there. That is everything related to culinary arts. Of course, by the end, we will give the opportunity to ask questions. So if you have questions, write it down. We will come to you later. And now I will pass it to my colleague, Ingrid, that will give us more detail about other programs that we also offer.
Hi everyone. So thanks again for being with us today. And now I'm going to present the program on higher education, which is the Bachelor of Science. Just as a note, all the videos that we are presenting today, we're going to share them later on, so you can rewatch them, share it with your family. And so as we were saying, this program, the Bachelor of Science, is a different kind of program than the programs that Melissa presented first. So here we're going on the higher education side, and this program is not a program to become a chef, it's the management side of gastronomy and the food industry. As you could see it from the video, this program is offered jointly with the University Dauphine. So you have two big institutions that are presenting this program, Le Cordon Bleu, that we had the chance to talk about it a little bit more, and the University Paris Dauphine, that is an important key of this program. So as you can see it on the screen, the University Paris Dauphine is ranked among the best universities in the world. So it's a university that is focused on everything that it's going to be economics and management. And in terms of ranking, it's always going to be among the best 25. QS ranking could be also the Shanghai ranking. And well, what is important also about this program is the accreditation. So it's something really important when we are choosing a program such as a bachelor's, that it's a 3-year program, the accreditation. So this program is recognized by the Ministry of Education in France, which delivers 180 European credits, ECT, meaning that after this program, you can continue with a master's in France, in Europe, or anywhere in the world, and you will have international recognition. So the program, it's a 3-year program that will be taking place in both campuses. So you will have the campus of Le Cordon Bleu, which is in the 15th district, and Paris Dauphine, which is in the 16th district. Something also really important, as we were saying, this program is fully in English, so you don't need to have a minimum level on French. On the contrary, you can learn French, and it's included as part of the program. Here you have a map of Paris. So to give you a better idea, Le Cordon Bleu, as Melissa was saying, is located next to the Eiffel Tower. And concerning Paris Dauphine, it's going to be more next to the Arc de Triomphe, which in terms of distance is quite close distance between both campus, which makes accessible for students to have classes in both areas, which are also a really nice areas for students. So now we're going to dig in a little bit more on the subject itself of the program. So the program, as we were saying, is called Culinary Design Management. And well, first question is, what is design management? Design management is an approach, and it's a part of management as in general, that it's going to be focused on providing tailored solutions, and that those solutions are going to be adapted to particular settings, conditions. And in this case, we're gonna adapt it to the gastronomy and food industry. And so how we're gonna adapt this approach of management into the industry? Well, first of all, we're gonna have holistic approach on the industry itself, meaning that we are going to integrate different elements. So we're going to have, of course, the techniques and the technologies. Since we are talking about management, we need to have all the tool sets in terms of management, but we're going to go even more on expanding all the vision, meaning that we are going to have a futuristic vision of where the industry is going. We're going to have also a vision on innovation, on sustainability. We're going to also have a site that is specifically for the creation part, and we're going to also have an idea on how we can make the industry better, meaning that we have first a knowledge on what is the industry today. We're going to have a vision on what can be tomorrow and how we can adapt this, taking in consideration everything that is happening in the world, and to respond to what's the social culture, how the new trends are transforming the industry, and how to make it better. So in concrete areas of study, you can see here the different areas that we're going to see with this program, and what it's going to translate in terms of the courses itself. As you can see it, there's one part that is taken in charge by Le Cordon Bleu, and another one that it's taken care of by Paris Dauphine. And the main common areas, so it's going to be design management, account and finance, regulatory framework, digital technologies and support, sustainability, and entrepreneurship. So as you can see, what makes this program so unique is that we're going to have a wide vision of the industry, meaning we're going to have a vision of every different sector that we can find in company or in establishment in the food industry. For example, the communication part, the finance part, the creative part, also the law part. So you have a complete wide vision of everything that is involved about the industry. And this is going to allow our students to understand, the industry itself, but also to understand what they are good at and on which specific area they want to specialize. So here you have a concrete vision of what the program looks like for the 3 years. So of course we're going to have a specific objective for every year. First year, of course, we're going to start with the fundamentals. We're going to start to know and to learn about the industry, about also something really important, which is also the food systems and the science of food. Then we're gonna go to the second year, where we're gonna start taking in consideration the operations and the specific actions and projects that goes in the industry. In this same period, we are gonna have the opportunity to do an internship. So it's a 10 weeks internship during the second year. And then for the final year, we're gonna start to have all the tools to create our own projects and to apply the knowledge into practical cases. And to finish the whole program, a plus of these bachelors is that you have the option to complete the program with an international experience, which is in London, as the Cordon Bleu has a campus in London, and Paris Dauphine also has a campus in London. This allows students to complement everything that they learn with an international experience. So what to expect after graduation? What are these food designers designing? and which are the options in terms of employability. So as we saw it in terms of the program itself, that it's quite large and diverse, this is going to allow the students to understand what they like, what they prefer doing, on what they want to specialize, and the list of options is also as wide as the program, meaning that students after graduation, they can work as consultants to create new products, new experiences, also to create new environments, meaning that we are not only going to think about a plate and the food itself, but everything that goes around it, like the whole experience itself. And we're going to have pretty much the mindset of as an architect, meaning that we're going to have the whole vision of where everything goes, and to be properly able to create an experience, to create a place, to create everything that is involved with the industry itself. We're also going to be able to work in communication, in media. So it really up to the student itself to find the path that they would like to follow. But in terms of career, we have a large list of options that go from the food itself, the components that can be in the gastronomy or in the food industry, like more on the industrial part of it, can be also on the way that we talk about food, the way that we create food, and well, the list goes on and on. So here we have other concrete examples of the career paths. And well, in terms of the application, how to apply to this program and what to expect on the admission process. So as the program is a joint program with Paris Dauphine, the application is studied by both institutions. So there's a joint commission between Le Cordon Bleu and the University Paris Dauphine. So to constitute your application, you will need, of course, your resume and a cover letter, which is a big important part of the study, meaning that we're gonna, of course, see the grades of the students, but also we want to know more about the future students. So we're gonna ask you to address 3 main questions. So how the program aligns with your academic goals, how this degree supports your career ambitions, meaning that you also have to have a little bit of an idea of what you would like to do after graduation, and after this, like, of course, why you're choosing this program specifically. In terms of criteria, so it's going to be like holding a high school diploma or equivalent. And we're also going to ask you for the transcript for the past 3 years. As the program is in English, we're also going to ask you for the proof of English proficiency, and the minimum level is going to be B2, plus passport, plus a picture for your file. And the application fee, it's 100 euros that is paid online. Then something that Melissa already covered in the first place. So for the culinary arts programs, we're also going to ask for the resume, cover letter, high school diploma. In this case, we're not going to need the transcripts of high school, the proof of English proficiency or French proficiency. A specific point for students that want to pursue the internship pathway, we are gonna ask A2 level for the English speakers. We're gonna ask for an A2 level on French, and this part, it would be required right before starting the internship, meaning that you can apply without an A2 level of French. Also for students, we have some students that they want to take the opportunity of studying in France to learn the language. So you can apply without the French A2 level and present it right before starting your internship. In terms of the enrollment fee, so it's going to be 1,500 for the diplomas and 500 for the certificates. Something specific for the wine management program, it's going to be the level of English. In this case, it's a C1 level. Regarding the French, still recommended an A2 level for the internship, and that would be the only part that is specific for the wine management. So it's a C1 level in terms of English. So we talked already about the programs itself, but we would like to also talk about the outside campus experience. It's important, the academic part, but it's also important, the student life. So as we were mentioning before, Paris has a lot to offer, specifically when you are a passionate or a professional in the culinary and wine industries. So of course, in Paris, you have everything that you need. You have inspiration from the small bakeries, from the Michelin rated restaurants, but it's a city that has also a lot of offer in terms of art and culture, in terms of history. It's a really international city. One good example is our campus, where you can hear all the different languages. In terms of activities, you will always have different activities, cultural, associative activities. There's always something to do in Paris, and for students, it's really one of the best cities to study in France, and I would say in Europe. And not only Paris, but France also has a lot to offer for students. So in terms of the student status in France, so you have different kind of benefits. One of them is already the healthcare. So you have accessible and affordable healthcare for students. There's a specific status for the students. Also, you can benefit from different discounts. For example, students under 26, they can access for free to French national museums, and also even to private collections and some private galleries. All the public libraries are free for students. Also, with the student status, you can have reductions in, for example, in Paris, it would be for the transport urban transit, metrobus, tramway, but also for the national trains. If you want to use your weekends to visit France, you will have a specific rate with your student status. Another big plus of the student status in France is that a student visa allows you to work 964 hours per year, which is the equivalent of half-time all year. That means said, you can use those hours as you would like. For example, if you want to use all your hours to work full-time in the summer, it is possible. If you want to use them to work full-time during the weekends, it's also possible. So in terms of advantages, France has a lot to offer for students. And we can also add to that the advantage of the location itself of France. So you can easily go to Spain, you can easily go to Portugal, to Germany. So in terms of student experience, Paris in France has a lot to offer. And specifically for students of Les Cordon Bleu, we have also different partnerships that are going to help you to prepare your arrival in France. One of the main concerns for students is, of course, housing. So we have several partners that they offer different solutions in terms of housing. So depending on what every student is looking for, we have some partners that it's to stay with a family, others that it's for share flats, others for studios. Here we put you the example of some private student residence where students have their own studio, is 10 minutes walking from campus, and you also have common areas such as the study room, you have a gym, you have also areas of recreation to have like TV or spaces to work on your own projects. And we also have partnered up with banks and health insurance societies to help you get everything set before arriving to France and also once that you are here. So from here, I think we can pass to the questions. If there's already some questions, we would be happy to answer to them.
Yes, thank you very much, Ingrid. Melissa, it was a really interesting presentation, and I think it will be helpful for those who want to study at your university. Yes, we will now have a little Q&A session. I will want to once again talk to all of our viewers that if you have any questions, you can send them down in the chat. You can write it in English or in Russian, and we'll try to cover as many of them as possible. But we already have a bunch of questions, so if you don't mind, we'll start with the first one. There is a question about from someone who is currently studying in university at his second year, majoring in international relations. He is asking if it is possible to transfer, or would it be better for him to apply for a master's program instead?
So at the specifically for the campus in Paris, we don't offer master's programs. And after, it would depend on what are your ambitions and your project itself. Meaning, if you want to switch careers and, for example, continue with the bachelor's program that we offer in culinary arts, since it's a really different program than international relations, here you cannot do a transfer, but you can apply to the bachelor's program. Then if it's more to follow a passion or to take some lessons on culinary arts, or even to change careers completely, and your project is to become a chef, you can also start a program such as the Diplôme de Cuisine, and in this case, well, there's again not the equivalent because you need to start from the basis of the program, but we would be more than happy to take a moment to chat with us, to see your project itself, and to guide you better to the program that corresponds to what you're looking for. If it's to take a short course during a summer break, it is possible. If you want to change completely careers to become a chef, it is absolutely possible. If you want to take a new orientation, keep on higher education programs such as the bachelor's, it is possible. If you want to also continue and be, for example, a wine expert, it is also possible. So everything depends on your specific project. And Melissa and I were going to also leave our contacts if you want to get in touch with us, present us a little bit more your project, and there's always the right program for everyone.
Right, thank you so much for the answer. Second question, are there any scholarships or financial aid options for international students?
That's a good question. Thank you so much. We get this question often. So unfortunately, at Le Cordon Bleu, we do not offer any type of scholarships or financial aid. We have done in the past maybe competitions where students can earn a scholarship, but it's very specific. Cordon Bleu, unfortunately, there's no such a type of aids. Of course, we always encourage students maybe to check if there's any option with the government or any external scholarships. We're also happy to receive that, but there's no options coming directly from us. Yes.
Okay, I understand. Thank you so much for answering. Next question. Do international students get a place in dormitory? Is it even a thing in the Cordon Bleu? If yes, how far are the dormitories located from the campus or place of study?
So we don't have dorms itself, which is something quite rare in France and in Paris. There are student residence that can be private or public. And specifically for Le Cordon Bleu, we work with different partners. And if we want to go to the closest is 10 minutes walking from campus. And it's a private student residence.
Okay, I understand. Okay, next question. Are there any specific deadlines or is enrollment open year-round?
This is a good question. So there's no specific deadlines for any of our programs. Culinary arts programs, we have 4 intakes during the year. Bachelor program, we have 1 intake and the wine as well. So it works on a rolling basis. So the sooner you send the application, the better, because you're sure you have your spot and it will give you time to do all the logistics. What is the recommendation from our side? Around 6 months before the intake, starting the application. If you are ready before those 6 months, you are welcome to send the application as well. But yeah, around 6 months and no later than 3 months prior to the intake, because, well, first, probably we won't have any spots anymore. And also if visa or any other logistic stuff, it will be too short for the student. So around 6 months is ideal.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to move to next question. At this moment, I live in Germany and I'm doing an Ausbildung program that lasts 3 years. Is it possible to apply to Cordon Bleu after completing the program? And what is the application process will look like if I live in Germany right now?
So the application process would be a little bit different depending on the program that you are applying. So if it's for the culinary arts, well, for all the programs, the procedure is fully online. So you can do it from anywhere in the world. So you're just gonna submit your application. For culinary arts, the criteria are being at least 18, to hold at least a high school degree. And in terms of intakes for the culinary arts, we have 4 intakes per year: January, April, July, and October. So as Melissa was saying, there's not a specific deadline. We recommend you more to do it with enough time in advance. And once, if you have those criteria, you can consider yourself to be able to enroll to this program. If you are considering doing a second bachelor's, for example, and the program that you are looking for, it's the bachelor's, in that case, you will have to also add to your file your transcripts, and you will have in general, it's like 2 to 3 weeks to get the answer on the admission for a bachelor's program. If it's For culinary arts, you just submit your application. If you have a complete file and you have the requirements, the procedure it's quite fast.
All right, okay. So we have a question about summer courses. How can someone apply or enroll in the summer courses in your university?
Yeah, so for these summer courses, as I was mentioning, they can be either 3 months on 1 month and a half. So, the application process is basically the same. So we recommend starting around 6 months in advance because summer it's pretty popular. So we have a lot of students wanting to come. Same process, everything is done via our website. So they decide which program they would like to take, cuisine, boulangerie, pastry, or any other program. And you need to choose if you want to do it in 1 month and a half or 3 months. And pay the application fee, which is included in the fees of the program, and then send us the documents. So it will be the same requirements: 18 years old, high school diploma, and B2 English level or A2 French level.
All right, thank you. So next question. Is it possible to enroll in a program if I'm 40 years old and like to change my field of specialization? Are there any age restrictions?
That's a really good question. So we don't have any age limit, and actually we have a good amount of students that they are changing careers. So we have students that they have an engineer degree and they have worked several years as engineers, as doctors, as different kind of professions, and they want to either change careers, either to try a new thing, and it is absolutely possible to join us at no matter which age. There's a minimum age, but there's not a limit on terms of the age.
Okay, I understand. Thank you for answer. Where do students usually do their internships, and who decides which company or restaurants a student will join for the internship?
So we have a range of partners in France and abroad as well. Where do they go? It depends on the program they are doing. But for example, like Michelin star restaurants, hotels, palaces. For example, we have students doing internships at the Ritz, the hotel. So in the restaurant, there's also like the Ritz Comptoir, where it's like mostly pastries. So is this kind of places where students will be doing their internship depending on their program and also what they are looking for. We have a team helping students with the scholarship, with the internship search. So there's a team dedicated to this. So of course, it's not us deciding where the student is going. So we have not only this network, but we also have our chef that have a lot of people that they know, and then can put you in contact with them. So it will depend on the student profile. So when you go to an interview, if the restaurant would like to take you, so it depends on that. But we do offer many tools for students to be able to find the internship they are aiming to do.
All right, okay, thank you. So what if I don't have any prior culinary experience? Can I start from scratch?
Yes, actually, for all our programs, you will start from scratch unless that you have already a base on French cuisine or French pastry. Otherwise, you start really from the basics. Specifically also because we're gonna be working with specific materials, specific ingredients. So here at Le Cordon Bleu, part of the brand itself and the quality that we offer, it's also about the products. So we are gonna teach you on everything from the basics starting from the tools, the ingredients, and everything. No prior knowledge on the kitchen is required.
Okay, I understand. So we have next question. What is the typical class size for programs?
So for the culinary arts programs, it's 16 students maximum. We have practical classes and demonstration classes. So a demonstration class is where the chef will be cooking a recipe and students will be taking notes. And then we have the practical class that will be in the kitchen. So our kitchens have 16 stations, which means we can have up to 16 students because students don't share, they have their own space. So 16 students in the practicals. And for the demonstration, it's like a class setup, but with the kitchen in front and the chef cooking. So in that, we can have 2 or 3 groups of 16 students, but the class will be, 16. And for the bachelor's degree, well, it changes. So around 20 students in class.
I see. Thank you for your answer. So next question. Are there any student clubs or communities for international students?
So it will also depend on the program itself. The one that has associations and more activities, also because it's a 3-year program, it's the bachelor's. So the University Paris Dauphine has different associations, international students associations, sports associations. So it would be mainly for the bachelor's programs where you can find these kind of activities. But for culinary arts, well, there's also other activities happening at campus during the whole year. So we have master classes. We have master classes where we have chefs other than our permanent chefs in Paris that they come for a specific subject. Like, for example, last month, we had a Japanese chef coming for a masterclass on the miso soup. And these kind of demonstration classes are open for all students, meaning that you don't have to be a student on cuisine to access to this masterclass. You can be a student of wine or pastry and still access to these kind of events, or also for the bachelors, of course. So there's different activities that are offered to students all year at campus, and a little bit outside campus. It would be mainly for the bachelor's programs that they are with us for 3 years.
Okay, all right. So I think we'll have a couple of last questions. First one, does the school provide help with job placement after the student graduate from the university?
So for the questions about work placement, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So as I mentioned, we have a huge network. So of course, students will keep in touch with us and with the service, and they can have access to all of this network and can help them find a job. When it comes to the bachelor's degree, of course, is a bit different. They have the internship, and also we have not only the Cordon Bleu network, but we also have Paris Dauphine network, which makes it even broader. So we mostly help our students with the internship, so finding their internship. However, yes, we have the team that is dedicated to careers then that are willing and happy to put students in touch with restaurants or places where they can start their career.
All right, okay. So I think I'll have our last question. It's about working while studying in France. Are there any restrictions in that case? So how much hours do students are allowed to work while he's studying in France?
Yeah, so as Ingrid mentioned, students can work in France up to 964 hours per year. If you divide that, it makes it around 20 hours per week. So it it's part-time, but you can split it throughout the year as you wish. For example, if you don't want to work while you're studying during the semester, you can just decide to work during the summer, full-time during 3 months. So there's no restriction. I mean, the restriction is that no more than 924 hours. That will be the maximum. And yes, there's no other type of restriction, just respecting the hours, and that will be the most important.
All right, great. So I think that's it for our Q&A session. Thank you so much for those who joined us today. It was wonderful to learn more about Cordon Bleu Paris and its programs and the opportunities it offers to students from around the world. Special thank you to our speakers, Ingrid and Melissa. It was wonderful to hear your presentation and your insights about the studying in Cordon Bleu.
Thank you very much for the invitation again, and it was a really nice presentation, so we are more than happy to do it again whenever you have the time. And I have shared our contacts on the chat. If there's any other questions, we would be more than happy to answer them later on.
So thanks again for everyone who joined us for our session and asked questions. Educational Bridge is a project where we connect students from Central Asia with leading universities around the world. And it was one of our conversations. We'll have a lot of them coming up. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Goodbye.